Welcome back to the Elite Economizer, your ultimate destination for unraveling the mysteries of personal finance and unleashing the full potential of your hard-earned money. If you're eager to learn how to save smarter, invest wisely, and thrive financially, today we are facing a financial landscape that is presenting challenges to everyday Americans. The Federal Reserve has recently forecasted that many people will deplete their savings by the time October rolls around. Now, this doesn't mean the U.S. economy is on the brink of an overnight collapse, but it does mean that life is about to get more challenging for many of us. In this video, we'll examine the details and statistics behind these challenges. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty, let's get a high-level overview of the situation. You may have sensed it already. Many everyday Americans are grappling with the relentless struggle to keep up with their bills. If you've ever felt like you're caught in the never-ending cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, you're not alone. In this video, we aim to shed light on why you may be experiencing this financial treadmill and what steps you can take to regain control. One of the most significant hurdles that many Americans are currently facing is the soaring cost of housing. Over the past few years, rent prices have surged by an average of 18%. In some regions, this increase has been even more drastic. Furthermore, home prices have reached record highs, and the average 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate hovers around 7.5%. This, in turn, has led to home affordability reaching an all-time low. The situation is no better in the vehicle market. Since 2020, used vehicle prices have skyrocketed by a jaw-dropping 44%. We've meticulously analyzed both the new and used car markets to equip you with the knowledge to secure the best possible deals. Gasoline prices have also surged by 39% since 2020, with occasional fluctuations. Additionally, cereal and grain prices have risen by 29% during the same period. These basic expenses have seen an increase of 20%, 30%, or even 40%, while wages have struggled to keep pace. To bridge this ever-widening gap, everyday Americans have resorted to using their credit cards or dipping into their savings. Unfortunately, this approach is far from sustainable and is a significant source of stress. We understand that many of you are eagerly seeking solutions, and we want you to know that we'll be rolling out practical, realistic videos to help you improve your financial situation. Inflation has spiraled out of control, primarily due to the massive money printing efforts by the Federal Reserve and corporate greed. However, recent times have seen a shift. Americans have become more conscious of their spending habits and are actively seeking alternatives when prices surge. The Federal Reserve had consistently reported that Americans had amassed substantial pandemic savings. However, their latest data shows a different story. These savings have been decreasing for the past 23 months. In 2021, Americans had saved an impressive $2.1 trillion, but by July, this had dwindled to a mere $190 billion. The rate of decline is staggering, currently at $100 billion per month. Government figures mirror this trend. Personal savings rates dropped to a meager 3.5% in July, down from 4.3% in June and 4.7% in May. To put this in perspective, pre-pandemic savings rates in 2019 averaged 8.8%. These declines, coupled with the impending restart of student loan payments, are adding more strain to Americans' financial situations. The United States relies heavily on consumer spending to fuel its economy. If Americans are financially stressed, more businesses may face bankruptcy. As we've previously noted, bankruptcies are on the rise, and a recent report highlights a surge in large business bankruptcies. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable in the current economic environment as they struggle to access affordable capital. This will likely result in more small business bankruptcies, though larger corporations won't be entirely immune to the challenges of this financial landscape. Now let's delve deeper into these challenges. The rising costs of housing and transportation have become major concerns for everyday Americans. Rent prices have soared by an average of 18% since 2020, and in some regions, they have skyrocketed far beyond that figure. The dream of homeownership has become increasingly elusive as home prices reach record highs. The average 30-year fixed mortgage interest rate, which currently averages 7.5%, has made homeownership an even more significant financial challenge. The vehicle market has its own set of hurdles. Used vehicle prices have surged by a staggering 44% since 2020, a figure that might seem almost unbelievable. To provide you with valuable insights and strategies, we've diligently analyzed both the new and used car markets to help you secure the best possible deals and navigate the complexities of purchasing a vehicle. Fueling up your vehicle has also become more expensive. Gasoline prices have risen by 39% since 2020. While there have been occasional fluctuations, the overall trend is clear. Americans are spending more at the pump. Additionally, the price of everyday essentials like cereal and grains has seen an increase of 29% since 2020. You might have noticed these changes when you go grocery shopping. It's apparent that the cost of living is steadily rising. What makes this situation even more challenging is that wages haven't grown at the same pace as these rising expenses. Many Americans are facing the dilemma of trying to maintain their standard of living in the face of higher costs. To bridge this financial gap, some individuals are turning to credit cards to cover their bills, while others are dipping into their savings. Unfortunately, this is neither a sustainable nor a healthy approach to managing your finances. We understand that you're eager for solutions to these pressing issues. Our mission is dedicated to providing you with actionable strategies to improve your financial well-being. We'll be producing videos that offer practical, realistic steps to help you navigate the challenging financial landscape. It's essential to start with small, manageable changes that can lead you in the right direction. In the coming months, we'll dive into specific topics, offering guidance on how to increase your income and save more effectively. We understand that a comprehensive approach to personal finance involves both earning more and optimizing your expenses. Our goal is to empower you to make informed decisions that will lead to a brighter financial future. Now let's revisit the issue of inflation. It's no secret that inflation has been on the rise, and it's a multifaceted challenge. While the Federal Reserve has played a role in this, other factors have contributed to the current state of our economy. Inflation has been exacerbated by corporate greed, as businesses have aggressively passed on their increased costs to consumers. In the past, consumers have been relatively accepting of these price hikes, leading to surging corporate profits. However, times have changed. Americans are more cost-conscious than ever and have become diligent in seeking alternatives and substitutions when prices become too high. This change in consumer behavior is a significant shift and a response to the financial pressures many now face. Now let's turn our attention to a statement from the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco that might surprise some. The Federal Reserve has consistently claimed that Americans were flush with cash from their pandemic savings. They echoed this throughout 2023. However, their latest data reveals a starkly different picture. They now report that excess household savings have been steadily declining for 23 months. According to their data, Americans saved a staggering $2.1 trillion by 2021. However, by July, this figure had dwindled to a mere $190 billion. The rate of decline is remarkable, currently averaging $100 billion per month. The Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco states, U.S. households are poised to run out of excess savings that was accumulated since the pandemic by as early as the end of September. Government figures paint a similar story. They report that the personal savings rate fell to 3.5% in July, down from 4.3% in June and 4.7% in May. To put this in perspective, the savings rate averaged 8.8% in 2019 before the pandemic struck. The continuous drop in savings, combined with the impending restart of student loan payments, will exert even more financial strain on American households. It's important to emphasize that the United States relies heavily on consumer spending to drive its economy. When American consumers are financially stressed, it leads to adverse consequences. A higher rate of financial struggle can potentially result in more businesses facing bankruptcy, particularly small businesses. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable in the current economic landscape. Access to affordable capital has become more challenging, leading to more small businesses facing bankruptcy. However, it's essential to acknowledge that larger corporations are not entirely immune to the challenges presented by this financial climate. In previous videos, we've discussed why we believe the situation could worsen, primarily due to a high interest rate environment. Our perspective stands in contrast to the views of big banks, major institutions, and the Federal Reserve. They assert that the economy is thriving. The Federal Reserve of Atlanta, for instance, projects a robust 5.6% GDP growth for the current quarter, which encompasses July, August, and September. However, it's clear that not everyone shares the same viewpoint. According to a recent survey conducted by Kenny Piak, a significant 71% of Americans believe that the U.S. economy is either in poor shape or simply not good. This divergence in opinions underscores the complexity of the economic landscape we currently face. Pivotal dates in September, such as the release of the inflation report and the Federal Reserve's decision on whether to further raise interest rates, we will be closely monitoring these developments. It's vital to stay well informed during these times of financial uncertainty. We encourage you to subscribe to our channel to receive timely updates on these critical financial events. We extend our heartfelt thanks for your continued support, and we wish you a productive, prosperous, and financially secure day. Take care.